Hello clever people and welcome to my review for Cold Pursuit. So Cold Pursuit is a movie starring Liam Neeson and it follows the story of him and his family. And what has happened in his family is that his son has died of a heroin overdose, but he doesn't believe that his son is a druggie. He doesn't believe that he would actually put heroin in his veins, so instead he tries to go looking for the men who killed his son. And what he discovers is that he brings himself in to a big chain of people that are all involved in drug smuggling, and it just gets crazy from there. Cold Pursuit is a movie I wasn't particularly looking forward to. I didn't think the trailers looked that good, but reviews came out and they were actually pretty good for what I was expecting. So I decided to go check it out, and I think that Cold Pursuit is an okay movie. I think it feels a lot like Taken, and that comparisons to Taken are completely fair and completely just, and it makes total sense, but I liked this movie more than I thought I would. I think that the biggest issue with it has to do with the style of the movie, and the style is very dry, and it feels like it's intentionally supposed to be dry because there's not really another reason why it would be. But the very dry feeling of the movie can make it feel very long at points, and it can honestly make it feel kind of boring, which was not a positive. I wish that the movie was a bit more, straight up entertaining or had a bit more color to it, but instead it was very dry, and that was probably the biggest issue with the movie. Outside of that, I think that Cold Pursuit is a well-done action movie. I think that the plot progresses in a way that's very comfortable and fits with the movie. I thought that the performances were all really good in it, and the action is very sparsely used, but when it's in there, it works. It works out really well. And I love the way that this movie incorporated comedy, because like I talked about earlier, my problem was that it was a very dry movie, but by adding in comedy to such a serious movie that's so dry, it could easily completely discombobulate and ruin the entire tone that the movie is trying to put on. But it didn't do that because the comedy is more situational. It's not like people are saying things that's funny. It's that the world around them does things that are funny, or it's like a very serious thing, like a person is killed and they show their name on screen, and a few of the names were funny, and there's a certain thing that they do at the end of the movie with multiple names that was pretty funny, and a lot of it just really worked, and it still kept the same consistent tone. And I thought that the script was well written. It had an interesting story. I think that another problem of mine was that it was a bit hard to follow at times because it was all over the place, and the movie did kind of feel a little long in the tooth, being 2 hours long, but it made sense why they had to make it that way because there's just so much story and there's so much going on at once. And my last big problem with Cold Pursuit is the fact that it doesn't really have a strong attachment to one character. And obviously Liam Neeson is the main character in this movie, but you can go 20 to 30 minutes without seeing Liam Neeson on screen, or even more at times, and it felt very, very off. And it was just weird because you were hopping around to a bunch of different characters, and that made it so none of them could be developed fully. So you left the movie feeling like you didn't quite know who the characters were and you wanted to know more about them. But still, I thought Cold Pursuit was entertaining, if not boring at times. I thought it's a well put together movie. It's one of those movies that's just kind of, even though it's not, film is all subjective, but I'd say it's one of those movies that's objectively good in the way that the directing, the writing, and the acting are all good. Like, the main components that make up a movie are all good. It's really just about how you personally feel about the style or tone of it. So in conclusion, I like Cold Pursuit. I would recommend going to see it if you know what type of movie it is going in, and I will give Cold Pursuit a 6 out of 10. Alright, that concludes my review for Cold Pursuit. So, what are your thoughts on this film, or what is your favorite Liam Neeson performance? Comment in the comment section below and let me know. I'm Robert Burke, and this has been The Clever Critics. Goodbye.